Hello, we're going to talk about Baraka. I think Baraka has many good custom variations. I don't think there's just like one meta variation, in my opinion. I think Gutted with something else is fine. Gutted takes 2 slots, unfortunately. And that one, the way you want to play him, I'll show you, but in my opinion, you want to get right in there, and you want to try to auto-shimmy your opponents. That's his game plan, auto-shimmy and grab, in my opinion. And then you have also the mix one, which this is a command grab. It ticks from a couple places, and then there's the leg kabob, which is a low. You can use it as a mix because he has overheads, and also to try to interrupt people who try to flawless block the gaps. We'll start with the non-mix. So Baraka is just, I would say, mid-tier. Where he struggles is getting in, I would say. Even though he has, strong projectiles, his range is not awful. Right, he can touch you from here. He can go in with forward 4, close the distance like that. But of course there's a full stop if you complete the string. So for example, you can't special cancel the follow-up. And if you just do that on stagger, you're in, it's -2. I think that's a good way to get in with Baraka, is you just do forward 2, forward 4 I mean, and you get in there just like that. But still, right, if Baraka faces someone like Cetrion, he's gonna really have a hard time getting in because... So he can get in with something like that, right? This is safe, -5, that was back 2, overhead. Or forward 4. Safe again. It says 0 now, but that's variable, -2 here. But his whole body moves forward, right? And against someone like Cetrion, Spawn, Joker, if they back up and they hit you with something with no hurt box and your whole body has to move forward, you're gonna get clapped. So his difficulty is just getting in my opinion. He has gaps everywhere also, right? So if we look, 1, 1, 2, the 2 has a gap. This one has a gap. No gap for this one. No gap for forward 4. This one is weird. The gap is in the middle, not at the end. I see he's just full of gaps everywhere. So if you're facing someone who's really good against flawless blocks, at flawless blocking, you're going to get blown up. But I think it's not really terrible because, I mean, like in terms of making a character, I think you should have gaps when you're plus. That should be the trade-off. So let's see his frames, right? This one has a gap. He's +1. Probably not where Baraka wants to be, though. I mean, it's not bad because he can use back 2, which back 2, that's why from this distance, right? Baraka's used forward 2 and back 4, I meant, not back 2. The sweep. And you can even spam it because it's like -2. It's a really good sweep. So that's what Barakas usually do after that, which is why if a Baraka does this, sometimes they just do it again because it's plus, right? You just want a reversal backdash after this. You don't want to try to come in and take back your turn because he's going to blow you up. Okay, so there's a gap here, but it's +1. How about this one? +1. Doesn't really matter because he's so far away, right? He could come in with this. Not bad. But okay, so far so good. What's the gaps here? No gap for this one, and that's fine because it's -6. Okay, and then we had this one. This one. It has a gap, but it's +1, so it makes sense. Like, this character is pretty well designed. And finally, this one I don't know why it has a gap. I don't understand. But regardless, it's a well-made character. But that's where his problems are. His gaps and also his lack of range. But he can fight back. Like if you fight someone who's trying to keep you out. Like I don't know, a Cetrion is winding you. You can fight back with projectiles. His projectiles are good. Really good. So this is the one I have now. Blade Charge. Which triggers a crushing blow if the opponent blocks late or breaks armor. And I've got it. This one triggers with a combo of 9 or more. So this means that if we... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... And that's going to be 9 when you grab and you're going to get a crushing blow. So let's see the damage. $376. Okay, that's a crushing blow. 376 plus damage over time. And what if there's no crushing blow? 334, 1 bar. So it's very good, very high damage. But I'm going to say that when you have cashed out the crushing blow, you don't want to grab again as an ender. You want to do something else. Because look at the damage. It's 20 damage higher. You can... So that was 357. Let's see if we amp it. 385, 57, 85, about 30 more damage. Probably not worth it. Like when I recommend someone amps is if it's about 50 more damage. So you probably want to save your bar, but it's up to you. Another problem with Baraka, even though he has super high damage, you can just break away immediately. So reversal or breakaway, sorry, fast, right? So he breaks away, but you still have really high unbreakable damage. 300, just some small damage over time. But that's the thing, so it can be to your advantage, because this means that since they're always going to keep their defensive bar to break, you can meaty them. Whereas otherwise, you know, if they roll or something like that, you're not sure, you don't want to go for the meaty, or you want to get punished, or you have to do something like, I don't know, a poke on meaty. And that kind of sucks, unless it's like a down 4. Is this down 4 good? Yeah, his down 4 is good. I mean, it's not really good. I mean, 15 frames is slow, but it pushes people back, and that's what you want with down 4s. Can he even jail it? Yeah, he really has a hard time jailing. I mean, you're gonna jail with forward form, but not the best. Most people use down 1 instead of down 3 because the range is better, but I mean, down 3 arguably is better because it makes them stand, right? It's 14 frames of hit advantage. This one, the down 1 is 13 frames, so it's a bit more advantageous for you. It's the same startup. Can he gel? Yeah, that's a problem, huh? Oh, he can. If I'm a little bit far away. That's a problem. Regardless, like, it's probably better to gel with back 3 after, just in case. In case they duck, right? Or they can't duck. But, I don't know. Like, his standing one just doesn't have the best range. I compare this to Cetrion, like, this is just terrible, but anyways. More about the... what was I going to talk about? Yeah, okay. One last thing, too, about the combo. So you can't do it like that. This is not a combo guide. With forward 4, it's 50 damage. Forward 4 is 50 damage. Standing 4 is 70 damage. So if you want to be a little bit more optimal, I don't know what his optimals are. This is not a combo guide. And I'm not his main, Baraka main, but you might want to go for a forward 4 if you're trying to have reliable, consistent damage compared to standing 4, because standing 4 is just... I drop it often when I try to use standing 4. You have to buffer your dash like that, right? If you do it too fast, just like that, it drops. You have to wait until it's like close to the ground, then boom, you get him. It's 348. Remember, with the forward was 330 something, so it's a little bit more damage, but you have to be a main to use this technique, I would say. Just use forward 4 usually. BNBs are better than optimals in my opinion, if you drop combos. Another problem, so okay, if they break away, I have the anti-breaker, but the problem is that the mind games are just not there, like, because if I try to go there, right? Let's do it again. I'm gonna try to get closer. It's just... what if I even just fake if I dash? So you can have like a kind of a fake bait and grab him, but it's not the strongest because of the lunge, so you can't like do something like that. So this means that when you're Baraka, you just have to, not Baraka, when you're the opponent, you just have to wait to see if he kicks, right? And if he does, just break. And I don't think Baraka can catch you. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a problem. You can't just armor break him. 317, but otherwise just do down... what's the damage on the 303? So it's worth breaking armor. What if they don't break away? There's a mind game, and you go just for the armor breaker, and they don't break. So what's the damage? 302, and what's the damage on the down 2? 316. After you've cashed out the crushing blow, it might be better for you to just go for the down 2 when you're not sure. What's it, the crushing blow? Yeah, 483. Crushing blow is worth it. So you get more damage with the armor breaker when they break than a down 2 when they break. But if they don't break, you get more damage when they just don't do anything. And you do down 2 then when you do this. So it's up to you. Like, go for the one you want. The damage is pretty similar, but best way to play him, like I mentioned, is with the sending one. Even though his sending one is not the best. But when you're right here, that's what you want, right? Sending one is -3, 1-1, -2. But look at the space. You're like, oh. Barakas, what they'll do is they'll do this, right? They do that, 1-2, and then they take a step forward. But I don't think that's very good. they try to shimmy you. Because eventually, this is reactable. They step forward and then it's a high. Someone might just poke you out of this. What I recommend is you just do this. 1-1. Immediately go into the down 3. Back 3. Or if you're going to take a step forward and then do back 3 to open them up when they try to poke you. Of course, with every character, right, you want to condition them after standing once to grab. And you want to grab them often because you want them to get opened up when you throw the 1-1. So don't be afraid to grab. With Baraka, what's cool is that his auto shimmy is very strong. It's a real auto shimmy. If you don't know what that means, search the channel, I explain it. I know it's real because the startup, if you look at the bottom right, is 9 frames. The startup of the second hit of the mid. So this means that your opponent is not going to be able to OS defend this. They're not going to be able to tech and defend the hits at the same time. So what they will have to do is just accept the throw. And that's what I do when I fight Baraka. I just let them throw me. I don't care. I refuse to get launched. It's too much damage. So Baraka, you do your completion and then you grab. And the reason why you can just YOLO it is because of the spacing. It's safe. It's fine. So just complete it all. And if at some point they let go of block and you open them up, you say you open them up at number 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. You can't just react to 3 touching and then grabbing. That doesn't work in this game. It's too fast. But if you just YOLO it the whole thing and it's safe, fine. Right? I don't know what his frames are when you do this here. This might be punishable by a reversal. I'm not sure. And I don't feel like testing it. I will later. No, you can't. You can't reversal punish this. Because my Baraka is stuck in block stun for way too long. Like I'm trying to reversal. I can't even get it out. Because that's how fast, like that's how slow it is. So I'm not going to test it out. I might be wrong, but I have a feeling that no one can punish this. Let me know if I'm wrong. It's too slow. So here's the thing, right? So if you're trying to... You think he's going to stagger or something, you're impatient, then you press a button on the 3rd hit. It's just going to do this, and you're opened up. Usually, other characters cannot do this because they cannot... They have to hit confirm everything. They would just end up doing like this and stopping there. You can't with Baraka, so that's why it's super dangerous to have this dude right up close. You don't want him there. If you're able to get standing 4 out, it's +4. So just know that. Of course it's a high, it's not the best. But this is not a good stagger. Just forward 4, forward 2. This forward 2-1, that's a good stagger. It's a question of animation. I don't know why it's like this, but sometimes this game is like this. So that's your whole game. If you want to know how to play Baraka, get in, do 1-1-2, and grab, and stagger the 1-1 sometimes. Grab, grab, whatever, other things. Don't do this, not with this variation. That's all it is, guys. In my opinion. If you know how to do this, you know how to play Baraka. This might be good too. 4-2-1, 4-2-1, 1-1-2. There's also the 1-2-2, right? That's your punish. There's a crushing blow in there. Right, the crushing blow triggers on punish. Crushing blow triggers on punish or counter. Some sweet damage. That was with 1 bar, so some sweet damage. He's strong. One thing though, with gutted, sometimes you're not going to be able to reach the grab, so if I do... See? So that's a confirm, but it doesn't work from this distance, but it works from here. Keep that in mind. I don't think that's necessary. 2-1 plus 3. Because you don't want him there anyways if you're Baraka, right? Like, this is more of a thing you do if you... I don't know. If you think he's gonna block. Because it's plus. How plus is it again? +1. It's plus, but what's the distance? Like... Yeah, this is good. This becomes like a 6-frame move. Almost, indirectly. When you get the forward 4 crushing blow, it's a weak crushing blow unless you have the variation I have now. We'll get the crushing blow. So it's 166. You can special cancel it, but if you only have gutted, like if you have variation 1, he just grabs here, nothing happens. Except if you have the this variation here. If you don't, you can put the flag out. The timing is a bit tricky, and I can't show you because I'll get demonetized, but it's essentially when you see the foot crushing blow, it's at the last second you want to do it at the input. It's not like Scorpion where you can do it right in the middle of the animation. It's at the end. I think this grabs in the corner though. It does. So that's good. And you see how it whiffed? That's a corner combo. Strong, 1 bar. Not bad. Very strong for 1 bar. You see how damaging this guy is? But the problem is, okay, let's say someone breaks in the corner. Let's see. Can we trap him? It's like a terrible armor breaker. You have to really time it well. Like if someone is not scared to just break away immediately, which if they break away immediately and you know, you can just time it. Right? But yeah, I don't really like the mind games with Baraka's armor breaker. It's just, what if we make him break slow? Say we want to trap him or something. Yeah. It's very difficult. Like even if it's like, it's difficult to get it. I don't think it's possible, correct me if I'm wrong, but to kick and then get it after you kick. So that's it for that variation. Let me try some other ones as well. I like the spine burst because of how significantly not minus it is on block. Look, -3. And like the recovery on this is not a lot, 18. So sometimes people spam it like that and it can reach you from pretty far. Like it's hard to get in. See? So the counter is like you have to just duck and come forward. So let's say we have from here and we have a Baraka that's spamming this online. There's one on Xbox that does this all the time. He does this and then zones you from close, and then he wins from farming. Then he wins 1 game and he leaves and he sends you an angry message. What a troll. I've never been able to beat him because I never remember he does this and I'm like wait. And by the time I figure it out, I'm dead. So yeah, the counter is this, right? If you look at Huddy B's brother, sorry, I don't remember, but he plays Baraka and he plays with spine burst sometimes, and he uses it to counter pokes, and that's pretty, it's all right. So he does like this, which is fine, but the counter is just, let's see it here, right? Since it's a high, you can just do this. Is because if someone tries to take back their turn with 1-1, they might get opened up. And if it pushes you back, you can just spam it again, right? So let's say I'm like this, I'm like, okay, my turn. So spine burst is great. I really love it. It's really great against like jumpers. Like this is an anti-kabob thing. So it's, yeah, the frames are great. It's really good. It's smart, well made. It's good because it's a high. So that's why they made the frames like safe and so good. I like the way that this character is built. Like one of the worst design character is Rainbow and Melina in my opinion. One of the best design character I think is Shang. But anyways, this guy is really well thought out too. And we can say also Jackie is one of the worst design character because she's like overly strong for no reason. But yeah, spine burst, that's your stuff. And you can stop people who try to flawless block you. Like, you know, there's a flawless block gap here where you just do this. No, don't do this. Do this. Of course, if you don't have spine burst, you could also do something like this. This is safe, but with this one, it doesn't cost a bar. You can just do that, right? Things like that. Where else is there a flawless block gap? So yeah, use that to interrupt people who try to flawless block gap you. Okay, that's it for that. Baraka Seeker is alright, it's just, it's unsafe. There's no real reason to use it. Why isn't it amping? And if you're gonna use Baraka Seeker, like the variation I have to change it, but I can't amp it, so it's useless. But like just V3, this is like a really good build. Like Kabob, because you can't have the launcher with a Kabob. So you have the mix, Baraka Seeker, and Late Charge. This is a great variation, even to this day. But yeah, so when you put it out there, you amp it, but I think there's a flawless block gap. You amp it to keep yourself safe. So let's say you do. It's too dangerous, like don't use that, like use it on hit, I would say, maybe. And you could do something like very average. average damage. Like you could, yeah, yeah. It depends. Like 140, and what's the hit advantage? 5, and you're far. When you use the mix-up thing, it's not a good restand. But in this case, like if you're gonna have leg kabob, probably be good that you have Baraka Seeker to end as your damage thing, but it's okay. If you're gonna use Baraka Seeker, might as well add these two things otherwise. Okay, so that's it for that. Then we're gonna talk about the mix-up variation. That's gonna be it. The mix time. Now the mix-up possibilities with this build, Blood Lunge, which is a tick throw, and leg kabob is insane. When you play against a Baraka like this, don't let him get close. Don't engage, run away in zone. You want nothing to do with this mix. It's too crazy. So let's look at the tick throws first. He's gonna hold, stance hold. Yeah, from the pokes. From all pokes it works. From stand 1, it works. Stand 1-1, it works! Stand 1-1-2, it doesn't work. Okay. 4-2-1 works, not 4-1, okay. Standing 2 works. From 1-2 it doesn't work. Back 3 it works. Back 3-1 it doesn't work. Recovery 32, that's regular. So that's one of the mix-ups. Okay, now let's look at the other ones, right? So we have this one. Usually, an overhead, you can just do this one, -7, no flawless block gap. So the overhead, there's no gap. It's safe. And when you do the mix-up, it's safe and there's no gap either. Bruh. Do you understand how much his cost-reward ratio is high? His reward is not that high because 70 damage, right? Or you can imp it 150, pretty high. Or he can hit you with, hold on, let me try to get out of the way. With this one, 70. It's not that high, but there's no downside to it. None. Like, what is the downside to this? It's all safe. You just lose your turn. Wow. He's still close. That's where Baraka wants to be. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, flawless block gap. Flawless block gap still. Speed is 18 and this is 17. So you can probably flawless block both of them at the same time by just blocking them. Okay, at least there's that. But the thing is, if you're expecting this here and boom, you get hit by that, that sucks. Or you just get hit by that. That sucks a lot. So like alone, both of these things, this one alone here is very dangerous just because you can just complete this string and do that and get the damage when someone tries to let go of block, right? So if someone tries to do... So he mixes me between this, which by the way, it's a high, right? At least. Between this and between the one I just showed you. Okay, so I'm gonna let go of block here, thinking he's gonna go low. And then he hits me with that. You see? In terms of cost reward, he has two options, right? As this or the tick. And here he's safe. He doesn't throw people where he wants to be, but he's still safe. Gets some chip damage in there. Some good damage still. And then in the other one, he damages you. And you never know if it's this one or it's this one, right? You know, just know that you're gonna get blown up. Or you're just gonna block and you're like, oh, nice, I blocked. Nothing happened. Then next time maybe you're not gonna get as lucky and he's gonna jump on you. Or maybe you will get lucky and then you're gonna punish him fully. So his cost reward ratio is like the same as the opponent in this instance with the tick. Because either you guess right or you guess wrong. Both of you. But it becomes way more complicated when you consider that there's so many options for you to throw out there. So, you know, he does that, right? So you let go and you'd get him. And let's say he does that. Then you can get a punish in. If you guess that he was going to do standing 1 into the throw, but he does 1-1 into the throw, and he whiffs. Now it's a punish for you. Again, that's just with 1-1. So in this case, like the mix-ups are insane. It's so crazy, you just have to guess, and everyone is guessing here. But where it sucks even more is that this dude can just start using this one. Like that. And he's mixing you. Well, not really, but I mean, he's mixing you compared to this, right? Or he could just do it completely, but he doesn't even have to take the risk. So there's that with this one, but then with this one, back 3, okay, you can tick, or you can just go for it. If I let go of block here, bang, I get opened up. I'm like, alright, great, you know? But to me, what makes this mix so insane is especially, it's not the tick, it's this one, the back forward 4, because of this here, because this one. Cost reward ratio 100% in Baraka's favor. There's no downside for Baraka, and there's only downsides for you. Like, if he guesses right, he gets you. If you guess right, you just get to block, and like it's neutral, nothing happens to him. He doesn't get punished. At least with the ticks, he can get like severely punished if you guess right and he guesses wrong. So it's like equal in that sense, although he can do something like that and hurt you a lot. So yeah, it's just complete insanity. I hope I didn't forget like a tick throw from somewhere, but you could do that as well, but it's interruptible, I think. Yeah, it is. But, you know, with human reaction, if someone is slow, they might get punctured. Anyways, guys, that's it. Cost reward ratio is just normal with this 1-1. Although there are options, like a lot of options, right? Either 1 ticks or 1-1 ticks. And just because of that, it's like very dangerous, especially since he can just keep himself safe, completed. And since you're scared, you let go of block and you get opened up. He only puts his life at risk when he starts wanting to jump on you. And the damage is not insane. 120, that's like a regular tick throw. You can't amp it? Can you amp it? No. So at least there's that. But it's so quick. Like, there's that and there's this one. This one is a little bit less fast, 28 frames, 17 frames. But the animation is like the same, so someone might be ducking and just do this to them or something, right? Or here you block high thinking this is coming, but really what's coming is this. So it's all just so confusing when you fight a mix-up Baraka. So let's say he tries to do this, right? That's what he's been doing. And you try to duck it. And then he does this. Let's see how much damage it is. You guess wrong, 200 damage. And usually if he guesses wrong, depends on which character you have. It's full combo. So, this is not a lot of damage, 120 to risk your life. So I would say that ticking here, the tick throw is pretty fair. It's just this one that's a little bit less fair. That's just in my opinion. Anyways, guys, that's it. I would say usually when someone mixes, it's the mixer that is at an advantage in a way. Like, everyone guesses, but you can still gauge how your opponent blocks, right? If you see that they block the whole string, then you know this is gonna work. It depends. There are adjustments, depends against who you play against, who's willing to take the risk. In my experience, when you mix, people don't really want to take the risk and you tick throw like a maniac. So I still find that people who mix have the advantage. So when you fight a Baraka that mixes, don't even get close. Don't get close at all. Anyways, guys, that's it. Like and subscribe. Peace.